rapping over the vocals at a hip-hop show. This subject has been a point of contention for quite some time. And myself as a hip-hop artist, hip-hop promoter, and an individual who advocates or who's an advocate for the culture of hip-hop and how it is a benefit to society. And I personally think that. Now, that's another story, another video for another day, but we're not going to do that right now. But for an individual who is an advocate for hip-hop and the benefits of hip-hop, rapping over the vocals is a point of contention for a lot of hip-hop purists. Now, I understand both sides where they're coming from, people who are for it and people who are against it. Let me just be clear. I prefer not for hip-hop acts and individuals who consider themselves hip-hop artists to rap over their vocals. I think that rapping over your vocals, it detracts away from the live aspect of performing. And in hip-hop, we all know MC, that means to move the crowd. And it's harder to move the crowd. It's damn near impossible to move the crowd if they're not feeling you right then and right there, if they're not feeling your energy. And if you're rapping over your vocals that's already been pre-recorded in the booth and mixed and mastered, that's a different energy. They're not reacting to your energy live right then and there. They're reacting to the energy that you recorded in the booth, and that energy isn't necessarily conducive, or it might not be favorable for the folks out there who's the recipient of said energy that you're trying to demonstrate. They might not like that. And a lot of the times they don't like it, especially at a quote-unquote hip-hop show where it has the boom bap, where they're concentrated on the elements of hip-hop, where there's a rich hip-hop environment. So rapping over the vocals is something you probably do not want to do. Now, with that being said, if you're an individual that's not necessarily into the sub-genre, underground, independent aspect of hip-hop, and you're more mainstream and you rap over the vocals, I get from your perspective, if you're rapping to a broader audience, or if you're in a stadium or an arena, it's much easier if you just rap over the vocals to reach out to the masses. But me personally, I like to make the argument that, again, that's not necessarily hip-hop. It might be good for entertainment purposes, and people might be inebriated and people might not be paying attention, but they're not necessarily paying attention to the performance aspect of it. It's more they're hearing the audio and they're reacting to what's been pre-recorded. So rapping over vocals at a hip-hop, quote-unquote, golden era hip-hop, boom bap, underground, gritty, lyrical miracle whip, all type of stuff, is probably not in your best interest. And I don't think artists should do that. Now, I'm an individual that's being very kind in my criticisms or critiques for individuals who rap over vocals. A lot of my colleagues, a lot of my peers and associates do not extend that same courtesy. So that is just my opinion. Keep in mind, the Ozone Hip Hop Fest is right around the corner, August 3rd. It's going to be amazing, 2019. So if this is like 5-10 years from now, don't worry about this part. But the Ozone Hip Hop Fest, rapping over your vocals at a hip hop show is probably a no-no, okay? It's been a pleasure for me to sit here and talk with you. My name is Benjamin Phrases, Pen Phrases. I hope you had a good time. And, well, you know the drill. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.